How do you avoid talking about controversial topics? This is something that can bring a lot of anxiety to a lot of people. There are a lot of topics that are just simply better left unaddressed. And whether that's in your personal or professional life, there are some things that you just know you need to stay away from, but apparently the people around you don't. Politics can be a really great example here, where someone decides to bring up their opinion and you've got flashing red alarm bells going off in your mind and red flags going up like crazy that you don't feel that this is a safe or appropriate topic for this setting or with this group of people, and you do not want to be asked about your opinion, but you are pretty sure that that may happen. Now, first of all, walking away when appropriate is always going to be your best option. Let those people have the conversation they want to have, and you just move away from it so that nobody has the chance to ask you your opinion, and you don't have to be involved. You don't have to hear what they're saying and get wrapped up in it, and nobody's going to try to drag you into the conversation. So my first and foremost piece of advice is just simply walk away. Let's say that you're in a situation where you either can't walk away or someone asks you your opinion before you get the chance to realize what's going on and excuse yourself. So what I suggest in this situation first is to address things lightheartedly and with a little bit of a sense of humor. If you're coming across as angry or overly defensive, you're attracting a lot of negative attention towards yourself that is not going to help you at all. It's going to raise some eyebrows. It's actually going to cause everyone to stare at you because now you're making a big deal out of this topic and people want to know why. Now, for me, talking about politics is 100% a boundary issue and something that I just have a zero tolerance policy for. I don't see any good that can come of it, and I've had way too many situations that have gone very sideways very quickly when political topics come up, and I refuse to talk about these topics with friends, family, or patients. I would highly encourage you to adopt the same policy. For more elaboration on my thought process on this and for a lot more in-depth discussion about this in general, I would love to point you towards my book, Navigating and Avoiding Awkward Conversations, because there's a whole middle section of the book called Money, Religion, and Politics, where I go over these really tricky topics and how to address them, how to avoid them, how to hold boundaries around them. And so I would highly encourage you to do that. You can either go to my website, yourconversationexpert.com/book, or you can go to the link in my bio to check out that book further. But what I generally will encourage people to do is to first address this with humor. So if someone asks me, what do you think about this particular topic? I usually will respond with something like, well, I was always told not to talk about religion or politics. And a lot of times that is the only social cue that people need to go, oh, okay, this person doesn't want to talk about it. And most people in polite society are going to recognize that cue and they're going to redirect the conversation. They may ask someone else instead, or they may kind of get the hint, maybe we shouldn't be talking about this at all. They may even be relieved enough to say, you know what, I was always taught that too. Maybe we should just talk about something else. So that conversation could go a few ways after you make that one comment. But you are sending a message. It's not an aggressive message, it's not angry, and it's not defensive. But you're sending a clear boundary message around this topic. Well, I was always told not to talk about that sort of stuff. You're conveying to people, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not planning on talking about it. And maybe you shouldn't continue to ask me about it. And This comes up in my work in home health a lot. The patients' houses where I go, so many times they have the news on. And I walk in the door and there's some headline on the TV and somebody in the room says, "What do you think of all this?" And I say, "I think I was always taught not to talk about religion or politics." And usually, the vast majority of the time, they'll go, "Yeah, well, I know, me too. Why don't we just cut this thing off? There's never anything good on the TV anyway." And that one little comment not only shut down the conversation, but most of the time that person will voluntarily offer to mute or turn off the TV because I have and I didn't say anything mean. I wasn't rude. I was actually the opposite, smiling. I'm good natured. I'm in a good mood. The tone of my voice is very pleasant. Well, I was always taught not to talk about that. But it's enough to cue that person, why don't we just shut this down completely? Now, if the person pushes, okay, but seriously, what do you really think about it? I might say, I think that I'm not comfortable talking about politics, especially with people that I don't know, because I think that it's a really touchy topic that gets a lot of people upset really easily. So I'd rather us just talk about something else. Or for me, if I'm coming into their home as a therapist, I might say, I'm here to talk about therapy. So why don't we get into what kind of exercises we're going to do today? And you change the topic. Anytime you want to not talk about something specific, you need to give those people or that person something else to talk about instead. If you only say, I don't want to talk about that, it creates such an awkward, tense moment that the other person actually has trouble thinking of what to say next. They can tell they've offended you. They can tell that you're upset. There's a lot of sudden tension in the air, and most people don't handle that well, and they don't know what to say next. So don't put yourself or other people in that position. Don't be rude, don't be condescending, and don't just shut the conversation down. Offer another topic to talk about instead. So you could say, well, I really just don't want to talk about that because I know that it can get people really riled up really easily, and I am just not ready to have that kind of a conversation today. But I know that you guys just went on vacation last week. Tell me all about it. How'd it go? And you're directing that conversation where you want it to go next. This is an extremely effective approach. I have used it over and over and over again with friends, with family, and in my professional life with patients and colleagues. And I'm telling you that it works. So next time something like this comes up for you, try this approach. I bet you will be very pleasantly surprised at how easy it is. And then you don't have to feel anxious about it anymore. If you have specific topics that come up for you that you would like for me to do videos on, please comment below and let me know what those topics are so that I can produce the content that you need. I'm here for you. I'm your conversation expert, Julie, and I will see you next week. Hey friend, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and share with a friend who you know will value it as well. I upload new videos every Wednesday, so make sure and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. I'll see you next time.